A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. This is the Thursday night edition of the show, and I want to welcome you to what I believe will be a bomber edition of Sports Tonight. You will enjoy every bit of what we have on offer for you this Thursday. My name is Tourney, and I'm not going to be alone, but I will introduce to you my partners as we go on, so that you will also meet them on the program tonight. But let me just quickly start off the show tonight by giving you an idea of what we will be talking about on Sports Tonight this Thursday. A whole lot of issues that we will be addressing on the program tonight. Issues on the domestic scene, issues on the foreign scene, issues of global dimension as it affects sports. So you are in for a wonderful time on this Thursday night edition of the show. We will, of course, in the next couple of minutes be taking a look at the Olympic Games. You already know the story of Brazil and the political instability threatening the Olympic Games. We'll talk about it on the program tonight. There's also going to be table tennis on the menu for you on Sports Tonight. There's handball. It's a long time we'll talk handball on Sports Tonight. But we'll be taking a look at what the Lagos State government is doing to promote handball from the grassroots. That will also feature on the program tonight. We have Sonny Young, who we expect will be joining us via Skype from Washington. And Sonny Young will be giving us the latest as it concerns the NBA playoffs. We are getting now to the business end of the NBA playoffs, and Sonny has got a whole lot of gist for us from the NBA playoffs. We will also be asking him a few questions as we also count down to the Copa America Centenary. That's a huge competition, easily the most competitive continental competition in the world. So we'll talk about that as well on the program tonight. There's a lot happening around domestic football in Nigeria. We will talk about the Super Eagles, the friendly games coming up in a few days, hopefully. And then we will highlight some of the issues that we talked about on the program yesterday, the French embassy, visas for officials, and all of that. We will also, of course, talk about the Yobo testimonial, interesting story as it concerns that. And of course, today there was a game played in Meduguri. El Kanemi and Kano Pillars will fill you in with that as well. And of course, we'll go abroad, the story dominating, of course, football on the foreign scene. Easily will be the sack of Roberto Martinez as a coach of Everton, and who will replace him. These are the issues, and the guys, when they come in, will be able to do justice to all of that for you on Sports Tonight this Thursday. But let's start off the show the way we always love to do it. Tell you that you are very key to all that we're doing on Sports Tonight. We want you to talk to us. We want you to be active with us. We want you to interact with us on Sports Tonight. And the easiest way to do it is through feedback. And we want you to take advantage of what you see right there on your screen, on Facebook and on Twitter, handles on Twitter, and of course the address on Facebook, to give us your own opinion to the issues that we will discuss on the program tonight. So we want you to talk to us using those platforms as we go on the show this Thursday. All right. Let's also tell you that you can watch us online on our website, www.channelstv.com, as well as on youtube.com/channelsweb. And if you click on m.channelstv.com, as you can see on your screen, you'll be able to view us on your iPad, your iPhone, your BlackBerry. It takes you straight to your home for the news, and gets better. Channels gets closer and better if you download the Channels app for Android, iOS, Windows from their respective stores. Keeps Channels at your fingertips, and you are able to track every single thing that goes on your award-winning Channels television. All right, and as you do all of that, don't forget the simple rule to tell us exactly where your comments, your posts, your tweets are coming from, so that we can appreciate you a lot more on Sports Tonight this beautiful Thursday night. All right, let's go on quickly and take a look at the issues one after the other. But easily, the biggest issue that should be of concern to anyone who is a sports fan, a lover of sports across the globe, should be the political instability that is currently rocking Brazil. Brazil in a few days, in August to be precise, will be hosting the world. That's talking about the 2016 Rio Olympics. But everybody is aware of the amount of work that needs to be done in Brazil and the challenges that the Zika virus is also posing to a successful Olympic Games. Apart from that, the biggest one is being the tussle, political instability that has rocked that nation. The president of Brazil, as you know, Dilma Rousseff, has been impeached, in quotes, and has been banned for a few days on allegations that she didn't declare the correct balance in the books of the government. But she has denied all the moves to impeach her, describing them as a farce and all of that. And the vice president, Michael Temer, has officially taken over as interim leader and is also appointing a team. Mr. Temer will serve while Rousseff's trial takes place, and it may last up to 180 days, which will mean that Rousseff will still be suspended when the Olympic Games gets underway in Rio de Janeiro on the 5th of August. All right, so that's a big issue for those who are lovers of sports and who are looking forward to having Brazil put up the kind of show that we saw in 2014 when they hosted the rest of the world during the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Apart from the political instability, the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro could also, according to a doctor, spark a full-blown public health disaster. Since the Zika virus was first identified in Brazil May last year, the disease spread through Latin America has been declared health emergency by the World Health Organization, and the number of suspected cases in Rio is the highest of any state in the country. So that's another challenge that is being thrown up right there as we look forward, as we count down to the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio. All right, so these are issues that will continue to dominate public discourse. These issues will be on the front burner, and Brazil and the organizing committee will have a whole lot to do to prove to everyone that, as it happened in 2014, when in spite of all the odds, they were able to put out a fantastic show for the World Cup, they have to show to the world that they can host successfully the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio. All right, so we keep our fingers crossed and watch as events unfold in Brazil. The politics on one side, the health challenge on the other side. Can Rio surmount all of these challenges? The days ahead surely will prove all of that for us. All right, so we'll move on from Brazil, and this time talk about table tennis. And of course, we're counting down to Nigeria's participation at the Rio Olympics, and we're looking forward to the IWTF event that will be taking place in Lagos as well. Nigeria's longest serving table tennis umpire, John Peters, he's been actively involved in table tennis for a very, very long time, and he knows exactly what he's saying. John Peters has told anyone who cares to listen that Nigeria should not really focus on winning any medal at the Rio Olympics in August, but we should begin to make plans for the future from 2020 in Tokyo, and set realistic targets of starting to win medals in table tennis from 2020 when the games will move to Tokyo. Peters, one of the two Nigerian umpires appointed by the IWTF to officiate the games in Rio, says China, who have long dominated table tennis at previous games, have prepared a lot better for the Olympic Games in Rio, and it will be difficult to knock them off. That's what John Peters, that's what he believes. So let's listen to him, and then we'll come back for some more on Sports Tonight.
Do better than we have done. The fact that we are not likely to win any medal anyway, but at least it's good. Because if you look at the history, I did a little study. I looked at all the table tennis events from all the past Olympic Games, and just a few medals went out of China. If we're expecting to win any medal, maybe not now, I expect that the usual excuse will be finance. Why not appeal to private organizations? I think that's possible. Table tennis has got to a stage now in Nigeria that we should be having all sponsors wanting to come to the aid of table tennis. And I think the standard is high. In Nigeria, in the whole world, in Nigeria is number 29. Yeah. So can we start immediately? We come back from this year's Olympics and prepare for the next one.
All right, from table tennis, let's move to another sport. This time, talk about handball and the efforts being made, of course, by the Lagos State government, the Lagos State Sports Commission, to promote handball from the grassroots. And there's a tournament now that has been put together by the Lagos State government for secondary schools, handball competition for secondary schools. So while we applaud the Lagos State government for what they've been able to do with football for secondary schools, with athletics for secondary schools, they are also beginning to look at handball for secondary schools in Lagos. And over 80 secondary schools will be competing for top prizes at the Lagos Handball Championship that will begin from the 17th of May through the 22nd of May at the Roe Park in Yaba. The Lagos State Handball Federation believes that grassroots tournaments of this nature will help to revive handball in Nigeria, in Lagos and in Nigeria, and of course help to discover talents that could go on to make impact at the global stage. All right, so let's listen to some of the key figures in all of this, and then we'll come back. There's still plenty more for you on Sports Tonight.
The championship is aimed at encouraging schools to keep playing handball, which during our own times in the 80s was the next main championship after the Principal's Cup. For this edition, we're having 42 male teams as of today and 38 female teams. In the previous edition, we had 34 female teams and 33 male teams. And it's going to be in the group stage, knockout stage follow-up, and it will start on the 16th to the 21st of May. That's from Monday till Friday. The games will be played here at the Indoor Sports Hall of the Roe Park. There are a lot of prizes for the kids. There are more valuable player, best school.
The Federation is thinking of going back to its usual calendar of all the competitions I just mentioned. I think it's now a top priority with the Federation and also a top priority even at the state level to ensure that handball regain its lost glory. And we would like to work with you, the media, to ensure that this is done. Handball needs to really move from its current state of redundancy into a stage where we are forward-looking, where we are focused, where people are actually have a plan. Because if we don't plan to succeed, we clearly plan to fail. Or if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we're clearly looking at that and having proper discussions on how we can move handball forward. But I think the major thing is that even as a body, we need to be united first before we can achieve anything into the future.
I want my school to win this year edition game again, because if we win, I will be so grateful that I did not come to training in vain. It was my friend that introduced handball to me, that handball is a lovely game, that if you play it, it may bring you to something in future. And I say, okay, let me try it a day. When I came here, I met a coach named Coach Shitu. So introduced the game, the rules and regulations for me. So I dreamt a day I was sleeping. So I dreamt of it that was what I'm going to become in future. I'm going to become an handballer. So that's what I'm training for.
I want to play good handball this year, so we can try to become a first position. Last year we became a second position, but this year I want to try to become a first position.
All right, that's one competition that we can look forward to, handball amongst secondary school. And we want to commend Kayode Okweifa and, of course, Sam Ocheo, the brains behind this handball competition for secondary schools in Lagos. I want to see this with other sports as well. That's the way to go. I mean, develop the grassroots and see how talents can emerge and make it to the highest level. And that way, we'll be reviving sports in our own little way in Nigeria, not just in Lagos, in Nigeria. So once again, kudos to the organizers, and we hope that the tournament lives up to expectation. Before we go on our first break on Sports Tonight, let's quickly give you our regular updates, take you to Port Harcourt and talk about what Brown Ideye is doing with the Brown Ideye Challenge. That's a Super Eagles player who is giving back to the game, what the game has given him. The Brown Day Challenge is taking place in Port Harcourt, but remember, Brown told us that his plan is that it will come to Lagos, come to different parts of Nigeria, and become a very big national grassroots competition. Well, the results of games played today, we have Benedi United beating Police Machine 1-0. Reporters in Port Harcourt are saying that that's a big upset. And then you had Glodek losing 0-1 to Port Harcourt City. These are the results today. And then tomorrow, there will be games. Rumoha will be taking on Citadel. And then Soccer Fire, what a name. They'll be taking on Gold Kings. Amazing names, all right? You find all kinds of names in grassroots football. And that's what we're seeing with the Brown Adair Challenge, all right? So that's it. We'll go on a quick break now. When we return from the break, Yemi Adebayo and my guest, Rosimi Akindele, will be joining me on Sports Tonight. We have a whole lot of issue to trash out on the show. Don't forget, we'll also be taking you to Washington to catch up with Sonny Young, all for you on Sports Tonight. Join us again.